What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Ben Mahari here, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. All right, we got to talk about this. So, this week, Ryan Garcia decided to run his mouth again. In the latest interview, he basically said that, he was getting himself prepared for the inevitability when he's going to face Devin Haney again in a rematch. Rematch, you say? Well, obviously, Bill Haney got word of this and pretty much said on the record, he pretty much said, listen, we will accept a rematch only if, and here's the big thing, only if you enroll yourself in Nevada. You have 48 hours. And guess what? It took at least two more days. And then pretty much Ryan Garcia pretty much backed out and pretty much said, can't nobody tell me what to do. You know what I mean? I don't have to accept no damn rematch. Pretty much backing out of the whole situation. Now, obviously, people have been running around social media basically capping and saying, oh, Bill's been capping. Bill be, been saying some BS. Let me just say it very, very clear. Do you want to know why Devin Haney and his team pretty much filed the lawsuit against Ryan Garcia? Right there proves that Ryan Garcia is unreliable. He cannot be trusted. Point blank, period. There's a reason why Ryan Garcia decided to use performance-enhancing drugs in the fight, because he had no confidence in himself that he could beat Devin Haney one-on-one in a straight-up fight. If he had all the confidence in the world in doing that, he would have enrolled himself in Nevada and would have basically stayed clean throughout this whole entire process and beat Devin Haney right in the middle of the ring. But we all know Ryan Garcia is a coward. We all know this. So I've been walking around social media and pretty much been trying to, people are saying that he should do the same thing what Miguel Cotto did. And this is absolutely asinine because both of those situations are completely different. Now, let me explain it very, very clearly. Remember when Miguel Cotto and Antonio Margarito fought in 2008? It was a bloodbath type of warfare. If you were to watch the match the first time around, you would think, oh, it was a great classic match, until there were speculations that Antonio Margarito used plaster in his hand wraps. Unfortunately, it was not proven until Shane Mosley and Antonio Margarito were going to fight. And then when Nazim Richardson found out what Antonio Margarito and his team were doing, that's when the truth finally came out. But the problem is that Miguel Cotto and his team did not catch this before the fight happened. So if they would have done that, they could have used that obviously as evidence in court and then sued Antonio Margarito. A lot of people don't understand that in order for you to file a lawsuit of any kind, you have to have substantial evidence to prove your case. Unfortunately, Miguel Cotto did not have a case because there was only speculation. But unless you have physical evidence to prove it, you don't have a case. And then the other side to this is that it took 3 years before the rematch even happened. Because the bottom line is, when Antonio Margarito serves the suspension, keep in mind, he was not suspended nationwide. He basically was suspended only in California and certain states. There were other states and even other countries that could have accepted the fight anywhere else. But Miguel Cotto was emphatically clear. If we're going to do the rematch, we do it in Madison Square Garden. Guess what? The same venue and the same state that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney had their fights. All right? And guess what? The rematch happened 3 years later after Antonio Margarito had a huge payday with Shane Mosley and Manny Pacquiao in those same years, right? Took 3 years. But after that, the rematch happened and Miguel Cotto got his just dues, right? If you ask me, I would love to see Devin Haney to get his rematch against Ryan Garcia and then basically kill all the injustices. But here's the thing. You can't trust Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is just a gift that keeps on giving because the guy continuously says a lot of contradictory things. He's never consistent on the things that he says, and he lies all the time. He lies that, by the way, you and I breathe oxygen. The guy can't help himself. So he pretty much put a statement out there on Twitter, pretty much said, I'm not accepting no dang rematch, which I'm not surprised by. At this particular point, I don't want Devin Haney to face him in the ring because you cannot trust a drug cheater, all right? And more importantly, we don't know if Ryan Garcia is still on the juice. I still believe he's on the juice. Why isn't it that he never rolled in Nevada? Right? And here's the other thing, too. People get confused about how VADA works. First of all, VADA is only the drug collecting agency. They're the ones who basically collect the samples. They have to take it to WADA drug testing, and that's where the drug testing takes place. All right? And it takes 2 full weeks for them to get your drug results. And if you're clean, you're good. But if you turn out dirty, you can basically apply, you can basically say, hey, I request the B sample to check if there's any false contamination. Guess what? Both samples turn out dirty. Case closed. So for any of the Ryan Garcia apologists out there, or a lot of the Devin Haney haters out there that are basically going around here saying like, oh, Devin Haney is basically soft, a lot of you guys have never done business in life. A lot of you guys don't understand that boxing is not just a fight game. It's also a business, right? Devin Haney's reputation and his business took a massive hit during this whole situation. And more importantly, he hasn't even gotten his full money and his full purse from Golden Boy Promotions. And they're still fighting that in court as we speak right now. So people have to realize that Devin Haney is doing something that a lot of your favorite fighters are not doing. But also in the fact that he's doing something a lot of average people wouldn't be able to do or couldn't have the comprehensive thinking to do. All right? When you have a substantial case, you take it to court and then basically let the court decide what happens, right? So, I don't want to hear anybody else from this point forward on my channel saying that Devin Haney's soft, saying that Devin Haney is basically weak. First of all, Ryan Garcia is the one who's weak. He is the one who decided to take the drugs. And he's decided to take the drugs before the fight. All right? He is the one who decided to go overweight and not care about going 3 pounds overweight and taking the fine. All right? The only thing that I basically put at fault that Devin Haney was, he should have basically canceled the fight. But I understood why he didn't want to cancel it, because at this point, you've already made your weight, and more importantly, people are coming in across the country to see the fight. So if you would have went up and canceled the fight and fought somebody else on the undercard, from the undercard, I should say, it would have been a massive, massive financial hit. And I understood why he couldn't back out of it. But at the end of the day, you should have basically left Ryan Garcia alone. But that's the only fault of Devin Haney. That's the only fault. Other than that, Devin Haney is doing what he's supposed to do. And let's forget, lawsuits in boxing do occur. If you do yourself a favor, research what happened between John Ruiz and James Toney after their fight concluded. Check out the lawsuit that took place in that. Listen, I don't want to hear anybody else sitting around here and saying that Devin Haney is soft. All right? Anybody who's running a business, especially in boxing, you have to be able to protect your business at all costs. Right? And you have to do your due diligence to make sure that you are a clean athlete at all times. We got one fighter in Devin Haney who's shown you that every single time he fights, he's never been overweight, right? He rehydrates correctly, while another guy who goes around, parties all the time, takes every single PED in the book, goes overweight, and does not care for the rules. And this is the guy that you cheer for. Yeah, I see why the hypocrites and all the people out there want to believe in Ryan Garcia over a guy that's doing it right. Yeah, I see that. So, the bottom line here is, if Devin Haney wants to push on for the rematch, it's his decision. I would not go for it, but he is at a point now where it's straight up personal. And I hope that for his sake that he's making the right decision. So, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. With that, I'm out. Peace.